A busy Albuquerque street was designed to be a two-way, but some unknown official turned it into a one-way. And now a lot of drivers are going the wrong way. A classic case of bureaucratic buck passing uncovered by News 13 investigative reporter Larry Barker might be funny, except there's a fairly good chance that someone's going to get hurt or killed. Buckle your seatbelt. You're about to go for a scary ride.
Is this a mess?
Yes, it is.
Have you ever seen a traffic situation like this before in your experience?
I can't say that I have, not exactly like this.
Bizarre?
Certainly.
To the casual observer, there's nothing noteworthy about Camino de Salud. But if you've driven it, then you know there's something different here. You see, Camino de Salud in northeast Albuquerque may be the most unusual street anywhere. Dr. Jerry Hall is a retired UNM professor of civil engineering.
I have to say I've never seen anything quite like this.
In fact, you have to see it to believe the daily parade of motoring desperados on wheels who blatantly and dangerously drive the wrong way on this one-way.
Why would anyone intentionally take the risk? Well, because they can. You see, the I-25 frontage road is just right over there. It's a stone's throw away. Even though access to the frontage road is technically against the law, for some, the temptation outweighs the risk. Take this shortcut, you'll reach the frontage road in no time.
The street was built 2 years ago, and ever since, traffic scofflaws have been disregarding the law. They cross their fingers that there's not a cop around and head out on this unauthorized shortcut.
You have a street that people are not necessarily encouraged, but do go down the wrong way. That's dangerous.
Does this look like a good idea to you in your experience?
No, it doesn't really look like a good idea. Certainly this is not what we would normally do for building a roadway.
This section of Camino de Salud is so unusual because it was built as a two-way street and then shut down. The barricade and one-way signs appear as afterthoughts. Every day, dozens of auto outlaws go the wrong way on the one-way, and the officials who designed this mess look the other way.
And when we went looking for someone to take responsibility for all this, no one raised their hands. All we got was some world-class finger pointing.
We started with the State General Services Department. Chuck Guerra heads up property control.
Did GSD create this mess?
No, sir.
General Services sent us over to the Department of Transportation. Tom Church is Cabinet Secretary.
Is the Department of Transportation responsible for this mess?
No, sir, I do not believe so.
The DOT said the culprit is the city of Albuquerque. Michael Reardon heads up municipal development.
Are you responsible for this mess?
Larry, that roadway is on UNM's property, so in no way is the city involved with that project.
Next stop, UNM. David Harris is a university VP.
Did the University of New Mexico create this mess?
I think you could say that we were certainly a partner.
Well, okay, back to the Transportation Department.
Is it fair to call this a screw-up, Tom?
I permitted the roadway in 2007. The rest of it, I'm not responsible for.
In your opinion, who is responsible for it?
The developers and planners that built the road.
And who are the developers and planners? The State General Services Department. Chuck Guerra was not at the department back then, but when it came to answering our questions, Chuck drew the short straw.
So it was intentional that they built the road, the two-lane road, and then blocked off one lane of it.
I'm going to assume that is correct.
If this is a problem, and this barrier in one lane is causing an incredible mess, and it's on GSD property, then GSD created this situation.
No, I think the wrong way drivers create the situation.
This section of Camino de Salud was built to serve the new state scientific laboratory. General Services designed a two-way street, but the DOT raised safety concerns, and General Services was forced to close off public access to the frontage road.
Was it the intention of the Department of Transportation that the general public could exit Camino de Salud onto the frontage road?
Absolutely not.
But in fact, the general public is exiting Camino de Salud
Correct.
onto the frontage road.
That's correct. That's correct. They've found a shortcut, and people are now using a shortcut in not paying attention to the signs.
If the safety issues can be resolved, the barricades will come down. In the meantime, UNM campus police say they are on the lookout for those pesky wrong-way drivers.
Certainly an accident could occur at any time, and it's something that we need to correct.
This needs to be cleared up because the access to the frontage road is not being used as originally intended.
Because some motorists still just don't get it, UNM says it's time to get tough. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Access to the frontage road is now blocked by this locked gate and a new fence. There are 7 warning signs, speed bumps, and a spike belt, just for good measure. Larry Barker, KRQE News 13.
And you do not want to go over that spike belt.
There's no goal.